Hello everyone. Today I have something new for you guys. It's a draft league. It's the APDL or Amateur Pokemon Draft League. In its fourth season. It's the season of summer 2021. And I'm your coach of the Belgium beldums. I was 13th out of 16 people to pick, so most of the really good ones were gone once I got to pick. But I, in the end, ended up with a decent to great draft. Um, to start, I picked um, Landorus Therian. Intimidate is a huge thing. Then with Rock Slide Earthquake, Life Orb, Potential Weakness Policy, the typings clearing out each other's weaknesses. I really enjoy Landorus Therian. Like it's 10 times better than its incarnate form. I like the design in a Dynamax format with max airstream to boost your own speed. It's nice. Max Quakes to get up your own special defense even more. It gets access to max Rockfall to deal with flying types and set up a Sandstorm. It's generally a very good one. That's also why it costed 18 points. Yeah. So now we're heading on to the second pick. It's a pick that, in my opinion, fares really well with Landorus, being Urshifu Single Strike G-Max. So the whole thing with this is it gets the ability Unseen Fist, which hits through Protect. It gets a move that always crits if you max it in its G-Max form. You can't click Max Guard against it because you hit through it. So yeah, it's, I think, tied with Galarian Moltres for the best Dark type in the game. Like it can do a lot of damage, but is also not the best in terms of defenses. Yeah, the option of having him to G-Max is nice because you can max Knuckle to get up your own attack. G-Max 1 blow to hit through Max Guard. Yeah, that's generally what's run on it, but it also gets access to a Steel type move if I'm right to get up your own defense. It gets access to Poison Jab to get up an ally's special attack. Like, Urshifu doesn't benefit from that, but an ally could. One of the allies that could benefit from that is my next pick, being Gothitelle. Gothitelle is a psychic type. It gets Shadow Tag, so it prevents my opponent from switching out. In the case of him having two, how'd you call it, physical attackers out, and I bring Landorus, then Shadow Tag prevents them from switching out, but my Landorus can switch out, and I can keep recycling Intimidates. So that's a really nice tag. It gets access to Fake Out, which is nice because you flinch an opponent for a turn. So yeah, Gothitelle is a really decent one, especially for the points I paid for it. And I needed a special attacker at this point, so Gothitelle was the chance to get that. It gets access to Max Mindstorm if I decide to max it. It gets access to Max Starfall, I think, to get up Misty Terrain to prevent me getting statused. And my opponent getting statused, of course. So yeah, that's that for Gothitelle. Oh wait, it can also get up Trick Room, which is nice in pairing with my next pick, being a Escavalier. Escavalier is a base 20, very hard hitting mon. It's again a physical attacker, but like it does a lot in Trick Room. I needed a Trick Room sweeper at this point, and the Scavalier was my chance to get it. It's an insane mon for only 9 points. I don't know who put it there, but it's there. Um, like you can max it with an assault vest. That thing just doesn't die because you can get max steel spikes to boost your own defense. It gets access to max quake to boost your own special defense. Um, it gets access to max bug. I don't know what the exact name of it is. Um, to lower the opponent's special attack, it gets access to max darkness to lower the opponent's special defense. I think it gets access to max phantasm to lower the opponent's physical defense. Not completely sure on that one, but like in Trick Room, I think there's barely anything that underspeeds this. So on to the next pick, and that is Rotom Heat. I needed another special attacker that can function really well outside and inside of Trick Room, like it's in that exact speed range to function well in both. It gets Levitate, so it's immune to ground type attacks, unless a mold breaker occurs, which is a thing. It gets access to Will-O-Wisp to burn my opponents and cut their physical attack in half. It gets access to Overheat and Nasty Plot. That's a nasty combo. You boost your own special attack to take it down the next turn, so that keeps recycling each other. Then my next pick is a Selgor. I picked a Selgor because I also wanted to draft Palisand, but Palisand was sniped from me in round 7. This is my round 6 pick. So I am not completely sure on what I want to do with it. Maybe trade it away during the regular season if something else becomes available in his tier. But get access to Water Shuriken. So like it could proc a weakness policy on Landorus with Water Shuriken, but it hits for a lot against the Lando, so I don't know if that would work. It gets access to Acid Spray. It gets access to a bug move that lowers the opponent's special attack. In Max, it gets access to Max Flurby. That was a Max bug I was searching for. Which lowers the opponent's special attack. Max Geyser from Water Shuriken to get up Rain. And I really needed a mon above the 100 base speed range, just to be as versatile as I can. Yeah, on to the next pick. And my next pick is Sableye. Sableye is such a good mon. It gets access to Quash, Rain Dance, Prankster as its ability. Taunt, it gets access to a lot of Prankster moves. It gets access to Fake Out if I'm right. And being a Ghost Dark type, this rounds out the square of Dark, Psychic, Fighting, Ghost that I really wanted to have. So yeah, on to the next one. being Vikavolt. Vikavolt is a specialty R sweeper. Um, Getting access to Energy Ball because I don't have a grass type. That's the thing I'm missing in this draft, a grass type. And I think also a water type. But I have coverage for that. Vikavolt also gets access to Levitate, so it negotiates the ground weakness Vikavolt has. So yeah, on to the next pick. Sorry if I'm rushing through this, but the higher tier mons were more talkative to talk about than the lower tier mons. But I picked up Vikavolt in Grace after a lot of conclave with myself and a fellow coach. Then I picked up Sylveon. Sylveon is such a good defensive wall. Getting access to Pixeliate with an Assault Vest on that thing doesn't take any hits from special attacks. A Fairy type Hyper Voice, a Fairy type Hyper Beam. It's all there. Shadow Ball is there. It's a really good special sweeper outside of Trick Room and inside of Trick Room because it's 60 base speed. So it's a really good mon for what it offers. And I'm planning on using it a lot. Then the next pick is G-Max Dreadnought. I picked this purely because I needed the water type. It also gets access to cross moves, which is huge. It's a rock type, which I was still missing at this point. Yeah, and G-Max Stone Surge sets up rocks so that when my opponent switches, he takes a bit of chip, which is nice. And then for my last pick, I had to wrap the mascot being Beldum. Yeah, my team name is Belgium Beldums, so yeah, every draft that I play, I draft Beldum, unless it gets sniped from me somehow. Beldum is still a really solid one-pointer, just because it gets access to Clear Body, it can switch into something that it doesn't take super effective hits from. So I think Beldum is really solid here. Yeah, and then if I would have to give my own draft, now that you can see it in the fullest in the left-hand corner, left-hand row, I mean, I would give my draft a 7.5. It's a solid one, but not one of the best in the league. Like there's someone who has Rillaboom, Lapras, and Alolan Marowak. That's scary. So yeah, this was my draft analysis for the Rookie division of APDL. This is Niels, coach of the Belgium Beldums, signing out.